I'm feeling sexy.
Oh, you were Oh, they're painting?
Little
Oh, you
paint.
painted them?
I just did the background. I love that substitute. Hey, we're about to chop that English. Shake it
Shake it.
off. Shake it
Shake
off.
it up.
Uh,
Buy
are you
something
ready to
today,
come
man.
and get it? Are you ready?
If you're ready, come and get it.
Nah,
Nah.
nah. It's fabulous. Yeah, show us their legs. I'm feeling sexy.
Okay,
Yeah.
so hey guys, right?
Let me make sure that the tum tums is not tum tumming.
Ooh, turn around.
Wait, let me jump so it goes up.
And 3 and 2. About 2 and 3 and 2 and 1. Hey guys, and welcome to ASK SOW Fridays.
That's a killer intro.
First question: do you like yoga or not so much?
I love yoga. Ooh, I love especially hot yoga.
Yeah.
Yeah. So understanding. I never used to get it, but those that get it just end up getting it. But the more that I wanted to like discover the journey of the self, the more I started to somewhat try, the more I needed to, one of my lessons, my current lessons, is to learn how to just relax, is to learn how to just not do anything and just be still. And yoga helped me in practicing that stillness. So every time I was in yoga, it just felt like I was clearing, my mind, the thoughts that would come in during, like the poses, and having to just like come, understand, hear that thought and then just let it go. Seeing how it's managed to help me in my letting go, my releasing too, because here I am receiving a thought, letting it go, receiving another thought, letting it go. And yeah, I'm a big advocate for yoga. And are you looking for a relationship right now? And why?
You know what? I think for the first time in my adult life, I'm not looking for a relationship.
Mm,
For the first time, I used to always find myself going from relationship to situationship to relationship to situationship. There was always someone I was talking to, and I was never alone for very long. If I got out of one thing, I would find somebody soon enough, or someone was already there in some way that
mhm,
I would then be with, either officially in a relationship, or just seeing each other, or just dating, or just talking. But there was always some male presence in my life.
mhm,
And I never really used to think about why. I just always used to think, well, it's just easy for me to find people. They just happen to be around. I just, whatever. But I think actually it was my way of avoiding the feeling of ever being lonely. I I don't even think I allowed myself to be lonely long enough. I would immediately have something so quickly that I never even sat in the feeling of what it would be like to be alone. I'm
mhm,
not sure what I was running from being alone. Um,
mhm,
Maybe I just thought I couldn't handle being by myself. Maybe I just thought life was easier when I had a guy around, so
mhm,
somebody to take care of things. But yeah, for the first time in my life, I'm just me and there's nobody around in that way. And so,
mhm.
no, I'm not looking for a relationship. Now I'm in the stage of waiting, although I don't want to say waiting, like I'm waiting for it to happen, but I'm in the stage of allowing it to find me.
I concur wholeheartedly. I think it's so beautiful when it's like when you trust. I'm excited for when it happens.
Mhm.
But I'm also a little nervous because does that mean that I need to give up my solo space? Like the
Mhm.
life that I've managed to build for myself in this version, in this single version,
Mhm.
is ridiculous. The amount of peace that I've been able to that I've been able to invite into my life, being in
Mhm.
this single stage, the security that I've been able to provide for myself in this thing, the love that I've been able to.
Mhm.
My dog is out here eating steak on a normal dinner day. You know what I mean? Like with some broccolini and,
Yeah.
and some nice rice, some chicken, so there's a lot of like, I buy myself flowers like bi-weekly. I've been able to come to this like love on my own that I'm not rushing into a situation.
Mm-hmm.
Rather, exactly like you said, like if you're gonna come in, I can't wait for it to happen,
Mm-hmm.
because when you flow with it, then the right person is gonna come in. Because when you come in, I buy myself flowers. Or if you're listening, I buy myself flowers bi-weekly. Nunu eats steak for dinner. I love it. Like, so I've been able to. I'm in a relationship with myself right now, and I can't wait until someone comes in and then they sit in this. They fit into the puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not demolishing my puzzle, and no, they're gonna come and fit into my puzzle,
Mm-hmm.
and it's gonna be amazing. Yeah, I think, like you said, oh my gosh, there's so much power in standing and learning more about yourself. I don't think I'd have been able to know who I am to this extent had I
Mm-hmm.
not spent some time by myself and alone. Like, I believe that you can, learn about yourself when you're in a relationship 100%. But for me personally, the depths
Mm-hmm.
in which I've reached, I don't
Mm-hmm.
think I'd have been able to reach this level had
Mm-hmm.
someone been there to like walk me through it or guide me through it, or God forbid distract me, from this. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. I relate to that so much because this season of being by myself really allowed me to learn how to be there for myself. Because before, when I would start to feel maybe lonely or when things were hard or when I was stressed, I would then go to whoever I was with to for comfort or for distraction or just for enjoyment to take me out of the situation, out of the headspace that I was in, out of the negative mental space that I was in. But now being by myself, I've had to learn how to get myself out of that negative headspace. I've learned how to comfort myself, how to be there for myself when I'm vulnerable, when I'm sad, when I'm lonely, how to really sit with my emotions, discover what's in them, and then know how to hold myself in that so that I don't rely on somebody else to do it for me. There's nothing wrong with seeking comfort in a partner when you're in a relationship, but you need to know how to be your own comfort first, right? So I feel like this season has really allowed me to learn how to be the own love of my life, to be the biggest love of my life, to know how to take care of me so that I can also help somebody else to take care of me because then I know how I want to be taken care of,
And
you
that's
know. So
exactly where I was even gonna go. That, like, what we've been doing is learning how to love us so that when someone comes, we show them how to love us. Like, my past experiences in relationships, and these are personal experiences and experiences that I've seen other people go through, is that we don't know how to love ourselves. Therefore, we allow other people to mistreat us, to disrespect us, to just like treat us any kind of way, and we flow with it because we don't know how we want to be loved. We don't know our love languages. We don't know what it is that we like. We don't know how we like to be spoken to because we've never spoken to ourselves.
mm-hmm.
So how am I supposed to teach you how to love me when I don't even know how to love me? Like, I was out here thinking I don't like flowers. I love flowers so much,
Mm-hmm.
depriving myself.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
even our love languages, like often the love languages that we seek from others are what we need from ourselves. Like I am such a big like words of affirmation person, but also I was also so cruel to myself. I was so critical to myself. There was no one who was meaner in my head to me than me. And but now when I learned being by myself, I've learned how to be so good to me. I speak to myself so sweetly. I tell myself how proud I am of myself. I tell myself good job. And now I know what exactly it is that I also would like from a partner. But it's like I know how to give myself the love that I want to receive first. So I am whole by myself. I am whole in myself. And that's, yeah, that's beautiful. It's
And that is
beautiful.
beautiful.
You don't need to look for relationships, guys. All we need to do is find the love within ourselves, and the right relationships will be attracted to that because you attract what you are. We're just saying you attract what you are. So if you are love, if you are nurturing, if you are caring, if you spoil yourself, if that's what you do for you, that's exactly what you're going to attract because you'll only get what's at that same level. So be good to you, and everything that's good to you will flow to you. Tell me the last time you were ill.
I was ill about, I think, 3, 4 weeks ago. And I had a cold. Actually, my body was fatigued and it manifested as a cold. And so it was so weird. I was fine up until the day that I actually had to travel. Because I was traveling that long weekend, and I had a cold for like 2 days. On the third day, I'm hanging out with my friends, and it just felt like that's where I needed to be. But I was like, the illness was no longer there. Like I always see illnesses as our body trying to tell us something that we've ignored time and time again.
Absolutely.
And then when we now finally listen to our body, oh my gosh, I'm seeing my bedroom doors open. Mosquito.
Give big
Just a second.
Ooh, there's pink in the sky. And they're so cute. Sorry, guys. We'll back right after this commercial break.
Do you overthink things?
I don't think I've ever underthought anything in my life. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, a lot,
Yeah.
actually, everything. Um, there was a time when it was so bad. I remember just like putting my hand over my head and I'm just stop because it was so much. There was just so much chaos in there. Um, I want to say it's gotten better since I started learning how to meditate, because then when I learned what it was like to be quiet, then it got easier to detect when it started to become noisy in there. So it's better now, but for sure, yeah.
I
What do
think my
you?
whole life, I never
Mm,
really thought too much of it
mhm,
until like a couple of years ago, where like my anxiety, like that's when I figured out I had anxiety, went through the
mhm,
anxiety, overcame the anxiety all in the space of about 2 years or
mhm,
something like that. And that's when the overthinking was just like there was a lot going on.
mhm,
What helped is the walks. That's how my
mhm,
journey began, the walking and like trying to figure out what I am, who I am, understanding, oh, I'm calm. What? That's crazy. How am I
mhm,
calm? And then I start to figure out the things that I like doing. And half of them require you to be in a calm state. Like I love, like meditating. I need to be calm to meditate. I like reading. You need to be calm reading, things like
mhm,
that. I like just like chilling. I like chilled vibes, you
mhm.
know so yeah, what was the question? Do you overthink things?
Do you overthink?
Yeah. So now I'm way better. Now that I'm working on my well-being, I'm prioritizing me, putting me first. I I still overthink.
Mhm.
I'm a thinker, but I don't overthink in an unhealthy way most of the time. Oh, do you think a broken person can be fixed?
This one is a great one, because who told you you were broken? No one is ever broken,
Mhm.
right? We are always whole. I think we have the
Mhm.
illusion of brokenness. We think
Mhm.
our pain and our trauma and our issues make us broken, and they don't. We are not our trauma. We are not our fear. We are not our pain. We are not any of those things in life that make us feel broken. We are always whole. We are always healed. We are always full. Always. All you need to let go of is the illusion of brokenness.
And I agree 100%. I've had so many moments where I've thought of myself as broken. Where I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to pick up the shattered pieces,
Mhm,
because like it just like felt like so much, but that was the illusion that I was in. So of course I'm looking at myself in different pieces, but when I'm walking as one whole. Does
mhm,
that make sense? Like, it's so funny that we think that we're broken, but like when we step outside, when we put on a different outfit and we just smile and we're outside, it's like we're moving as a whole, and we kind of forget that. I don't think that you can fix people. I think that people can change. I don't think that people are ever broken. I think that we change. I think that's one of the beautiful parts about ourselves, is that we're ever
mhm,
growing, we're ever changing. We should never be stagnant and in the same place.
mhm,
I think that it is part of our growth whenever we feel broken, or out of alignment, let's say. I think, yeah, it's part of it's everything works together for your good. It's part of the
mhm,
process. There's beauty in everything, that even in the parts of you that you think are broken, there is so much beauty that's there, because
mhm,
that's where we learn the most. That's where we receive the most comfort, the most, shelter. It's within that brokenness, that period.
mhm,
um I scripture says that God is with the brokenhearted. You know, God is with the mourning. God is with us. So whenever you're in a stage where you feel like you're broken or someone is broken, know that the universe is supporting them wholeheartedly. And the universe knows that they're going through a shift in their life. I think everything works with the shifts. So I wouldn't say no, people don't get broken, but we can feel that based off our perception. But if we change that perception and see it more as, what is this trying to teach me here? What is the lesson that I need to learn here so that I can move on to the next stage, to a happier stage? It's always a what if this is actually working in my favor in the most crooked way. I also think that when you feel the need or when you feel like you need to fix someone, odds are that you yourself are the person that needs to be fixed, if that makes sense. If because we're all reflections of each other. The people that are in your life are operating at the same frequency that you are. You've attracted that in which you are. So if you're with somebody and they seem broken to you, or they've told you that they're broken, there are also parts in you that are also broken. So if you want to fix that person's brokenness, try by fixing your brokenness so that you can, when you raise the vibration for yourself, you raise it for everybody that is around you. Just by you putting in work for yourself, you're doing so much for the other person. So if you want to fix that broken person, we got to fix you first, babe or bro.
What's your secret to staying strong? Ooh.
This is a wonderful question. The company. The company I keep. I see myself as a flower. I'm an earth element, a Capricorn. I give off Mother Nature vibes now that I'm trying to align with the earth part of me. But I see myself as a flower. And if a flower is in the wrong environment, in a bad environment, if I'm a tropical plant in a desert, I'm not going to survive. So I need to ensure that I'm in the right environment for me to survive and for me to thrive and just, be popping little like flowers, just blossoming everywhere. So my circle, the people that I surround myself with, in the workforce, in, social settings, wherever I am, they help me stay strong. Because I feel like, you know we're meant to have relations. That's the beauty of life. We're meant to have people, around us to cheer us up, because when we're by ourselves, like especially for me, I'm an overthinker. Like by myself, it's so easy to get back into that loophole of just like cuckoo, because I'm by myself. But having people that like are able to see me, hear me, feel me, and be like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, oh, and then I'm now able to see, because their eyes are clean. I'm now able to see what it is that is actually happening in my life, where I need to adjust a little, you know, yeah.
For me, actually, my first instinct with this question was when I saw strong, I was like, I feel like I used to be really strong. Like I used to have to be really strong with my emotions, really strong when things happened, really just just stay strong. You can do
You
it.
got this.
But yeah, but lately what I'm realizing, as I've been on this journey, is that the more I allow things to be as they are, the less strong I need to be. I feel like sometimes I needed to be strong because I was resisting the way that things were. I need to be tough. But if I'm allowing things to come into my life, allowing things to leave my life and not holding on to them, then there is no need for me to be strong. It's like it comes and I'm like, oh, welcome. It goes, I'm like, goodbye. Someone comes, I'm like, welcome. Someone goes, I'm like, bye. And the less that I try to make things the
Hold
way I want them to
everything.
be, yeah, and hold it and let's control things, the less I need to be strong. I just trust that somehow it's always working out. It's always working out for me. It's working out in my favor. Everything is for my greatest and highest good. So whatever happens, I just go with it. I'm like, oh, okay. But then as well in that same vein, I feel like having those people around me, like having you, is one of the ways in which I stay strong, is by having someone who holds the vision for my life the way I do as well. Because then if I'm not losing the faith, but if I'm in those moments of weakness where I'm doubting or I'm hesitating or I'm just feeling lower than usual, somebody who sees what I see and who sees me in the best light, who sees me and brings out my light is what keeps me going. So having somebody who can hold the vision that I hold and who can hold a vision for me and carry it with me is also what keeps me strong when I need to be. And also just accepting. Accept things as they are.
As they are.
As they are.
Let it just flow.
Let it
Now
be.
you can move on to the next stage. Otherwise, you just stay in the same spot. I don't get it. Yeah. I remember when I first learned, when I fully understood what letting go was. It was with the toilet analogy. So hilarious that like
That
you
was
need to
such a
go.
good. That was so good. Do you know? Do you know? I say that to myself every week, at least once a week.
It was so good. We need cameras. It's like something is trying to get out of you. You know, you need to go and release whatever you're releasing in the washroom. Why are you trying to hold on to something that doesn't want you? When you know releasing it feels so good. Do you ever like finish whatever you're doing on the toilet and you're like,
It's
it
when you
feels
said it
good.
just wants to come out. That's what I understood it differently because sometimes I would really hold on here, like I need to pee, and I'm like, I'm even getting annoyed at the pee. I'm like, can't you see I'm busy right now, or I don't want to get up? But then you're right, it just wants to come out.
It's
It
supposed
just
to
wants
come
to
out.
come out as well. I'm like, now I'm like,
Free. It's screaming
yeah,
free. Get me
yeah.
out of
Now
here.
I'm like, okay, I get you. You're just as frustrated with me as I am with you. You also want to go out. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think that everything manifests in different realities through one reality, right? Like it just will hailfire. Um, and so when we're in those, like especially with that, because I did it for the longest time, where I'd hold, you know, my washroom stuff inside. But I figured I would hold on to everything else in my life as well, because you know what's happening in one aspect, it has to also, you know, juggle for the balance. Ever since I just started.
Mhm. Letting it go. And you know what's funny when you say the multiple realities and how everything just manifests from the same reality? That reminds me of like one of the most profound things I read, and it's been with me for a while now. And it said that the way you brush your teeth is the way you do everything. And you know, when I heard that, I was like, oh my goodness. Because I had to look at the way I brush my teeth.
I just must not be rushing.
You know, I'm just like,
This is
I'm
so
trying to get to the
scary.
next thing. I'm always trying to get to the next thing.
I'm always in
I
a
can't just be
rush.
here now, slowly letting it happen, accepting the way that it is, and being fully present for the experience. Instead, I'm always in my head on the next thing. And when I heard that, I was like, yeah, the same reality, multiple realities. It happens. So now I take my time with brushing my teeth. I'm like, okay. And when I find myself getting impatient again, I'm like, remember, the way you brush your teeth is the way you do everything. And I get
This
back
is
to it.
gonna be me tomorrow morning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Even the theme of doing difficult things, I'm like, because it's hard actually to sit here and be present for these 2 minutes. Sometimes I'm thinking doing difficult things is these big things that we need to do, putting myself in networking, communicating, doing difficult things. But sometimes doing difficult things, it just means standing still for 2 minutes and brushing your teeth all the way through. That was my motivation yesterday at 45 seconds when I was like, I want to just stop. I'll do it tomorrow. Then I was like, what's the difference between today and tomorrow? Why do you think you'll do it tomorrow if you can't do it today? What's the difference? Oh, and I had to just look at myself in the mirror. I'm like, you're right. Yep. I was like, you're right.
The
Yeah.
humbling experiences are amazing, though.
Mm,
Wow, that is
yeah.
so scary.
Mhm,
Oh,
mhm.
because
Wisdom.
sometimes when I'm like driving and I'm overtaking and I'm thinking, where are you rushing to? Like I'm just rushing. Where am I rushing to?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah. Oh my God. Like this has been like one of the longest, purest friendships I've ever had. Prior to this, they were like junior school friendships that like I really held so sacredly.
Mhm.
And now it's like I've been able to like meet in the past like 2, 3 years. I've been able to like meet like people that I'm growing with and not
Mhm.
growing against. It's like so cool.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
what?
It's the intimacy for me. I think I used to reserve all of my intimacy for my romantic relationships, which is why I was always
Mm.
popping in and out of them as well, because that was the
Mhm.
only place where I allowed myself to be emotionally somewhat vulnerable and
Mhm.
actually share how I felt, but never with my
Mhm.
friends, never with the world. I was too shut off for that, and emotions were still like, a weakness. But now it's like I experience so much intimacy in our relationship. Like I can call you and tell you about anything. I can call you and I'm on, well, we do this all the time. I'm in the washroom, the toilet. I can talk to you about everything from my body, how it's feeling, what's happening with my body, what cycles I'm going through. I can tell you what's happening in my mind. I can tell you what's happening with me psychologically, mentally, emotionally. I can, I can share with you like
Mhm.
my weaknesses or where I'm not feeling so great. I have intimacy with you, like real depth
Mhm.
and intimacy that was I never allowed or never shared
Mhm.
really in my
Mhm.
friendships.
Mhm. I didn't even know
Um,
I had that as well
mhm.
prior. Yeah.
It reminds me of when you were saying a few weeks ago that we didn't even know what sisterhood was. And you were right. We were right. I had my ideas. I had a touch. I could understand some of what sisterhood was, but not really. Not really. I hadn't really gone into it to understand what real sisterhood is.
Mhm.
Because oof.
I had no
Yeah.
idea. I had absolutely no idea until that day when we slept on the couch. That was
Yeah.
a boom moment for me. And we were holding hands the whole night. And I
Mhm.
was like, this is
Mhm.
the sister, just someone to hold you. Whenever you
Mhm.
just, even when you don't even know that you need to be held, and like you don't even need to do much, you're just being. But with someone else, you're just being. Like it doesn't, you
Mhm.
come as you are. It doesn't require you to be something before you just like,
Mhm. And yes, I can trust somebody to take care of me. I've
yeah.
never trusted another woman or, to take care of me. I've never thought actually to allow another woman to take care of me. That was something for the guy that I was in a relationship with or for myself. It was never a thought to me that there's a woman who can take care of me,
Can
that
be
I
there.
can take care of. But that
Mm-hmm.
sisterhood, we take
That's
care of
sister.
each other with so much depth and intimacy. We hold each other and we protect each other and we keep each other safe and we make each other feel loved and it feels so good. I feel the
It
love. Can you feel the
feels
love right now? I feel the love.
it's so amazing because it builds you up so much. Like I'm so confident. I'm able to be, this optimistic because I know in whatever situation I'm on, and I'm in, that the people like they got the sisterhood. The sisterhood has got me, like the protection that you're speaking of. I'm divinely protected, guided, everything because the sisterhood has got me so tight. What I also love about this sisterhood is that we truly embrace all the different parts of ourselves, the different like forms of ourselves, the soul part of ourselves, the human part of ourselves, the spirit part, all the different parts of ourselves, and we're able to then come and help each other in the different areas of ourselves. Sometimes your soul needs a little bit of encouragement. So soul sisters come in, you know what I mean? Like, and soul sister knows how to help fellow soul sister. Like everybody is in this mist of nurturing without
Mhm.
even knowing that you're nurturing.
Mhm.
And
And it's beautiful because even in the human experience, there's so much range in it. Like we're there mentally, right? We're there emotionally. We're there even for fun. Like when I'm like when I was standing up and you're like, woo, shaky, ooh, looking sexy. I feel so good. I'm like, yeah, let me do a little shaky shake. I feel so
yeah.
good. I feel playful. I feel fun. Like I can be supported by other girls just telling me, go girl, do
You
your
look
thing. You're
good. Like you
looking
look
good.
so good.
When I'm not dressed up, when I'm just like there and you're like, oh, I'm sexy. I'm like
Like it's such
You
a
know?
big flex, you
Yeah.
know? Like sisterhood is just people just gas you up. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you feel so good. You feel so good. Because as women, we're so powerful. Women, we've had to make our own way in this world. We've had to fight for the spots that we had. We had to do all these things by ourselves, take care of families, take care of households, take care of this. Just one woman was doing all of that. So what more when you now have two and then three and then four and they all gather together? Oh,
Oh my gosh, it reminds me
yeah.
of Sarah Jakes. You know, one can move 1,000, but the two of us can put the devil on notice. And
Mm,
it was like this. I felt the energy of
mhm,
it's almost like, oh, that back to that scripture where two or more gathered, there I shall be. The magic
mhm,
of two people agreeing. And I feel like it was the
mhm,
same thing with even so, when like everything just like, I don't know, it just boom. When you're like, so what's going on? And then like, you know, I was able to like figure out what was going on, and you're able to then agree and boom, and like just like made it a reality. Like where two gather and agree, it just everything then just falls into I
mhm,
don't know how to explain it. Like there's
mhm,
something there about the sisterhood that like you can just say something and not be judged for it. The person
mhm,
hears you, they actually want to put in action for you in
mhm.
order for you to you know what I mean, like
They hold
there's
the vision for you,
oh
with you.
oh
Mm-hmm.
and they see
Mm-hmm.
it better than you've even seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and now
Mm-hmm.
you're just now you got all these teachers to just to guide you.
And it makes it so real when someone can hold that vision with you. It makes it so real because sometimes you'll be lost, sometimes you'll be confused, sometimes you just be unsure. And when someone can come in and be like seeing what you're seeing, can even see it better than you're seeing,
Mhm.
then it makes it so real. Like it's so powerful.
Oh
And
my
whew,
gosh, and it's
I
back
love
to that
it.
limitless world.
Yeah, it's limitless.
It's
It's
limitless.
limitless.
That is amazing, you guys. And that concludes this week's episode of Ask So.